Well, good morning there, bear people. Grafted Roots, I like that name. That's a cool name. Ian McPhee, good morning, brother. Amelia, Andrew Barnes, good morning, brother. The Nation of the Bear. Wes Crocker, good morning. Lloyd Parker. Slow Chuck. Underwater Rob. Man, how's your Wi-Fi down there? Like, how does that work? Sleep Dog, good morning. Speaking of sleep, I woke up at 4:08 this morning. Actually, that's a lie. It was 4:06. And I thought it was 4:08 because I thought, oh, 4:08 SHTF, cool round. I was like, it's not 4:08, it's 4:06. I was like, I'm not going to be awake right now. So I ordered some materials online for a construction project on the homestead and went back to sleep. And that's why we're doing the brief this morning at 8 a.m. local, not 6 a.m. local, because sleep and stuff. Renee Freeman, good morning. Right? Yes, it is We All Gonna Die Wednesday. Good morning, everybody. Thank y'all for being here. I really do, really do appreciate y'all. Good morning, Badger. The growth of this channel has been a wonderful thing to watch. I am honored by it, and we could not do this without you. So thank you. Death Row Trucking, good morning. It's been a while since I've seen your name. I hope you're doing all right, brother. If you're lurking in the shadows, if you've been hiding in the shadows and you would like to just come on out and become an official member of the Bear Nation, click the subscribe button, ring the little bell. Good morning, Jeremiah, Amelia's son. I hope you have an awesome day, bro. Get out there and do the things. Get some dirt under your fingernails. Get a little sweat on. Do what you got to do, man. Wes S., no lurking. Amen. Glad to hear all is well, Death Row. If you've been lurking in the shadows, come on out, click the little bell icon, hit subscribe, and maybe share these videos out amongst your friends, your family, your loved ones, your little crew, your tribe, your mag, whoever. And, hit the thumbs up button, like this. You find the one that looks like this and you hit the little button. Roger that, Jim. Do what you got to do, Jim. All right. James Cipriano. Holy crap, a notification. Dudley, good morning, brother. Texas Rambo. Awesome. Great name. I didn't come here to protect him from you. I came here to protect you from him. You're telling me one man can take on a whole National Guard battalion? Yes. Yes, I am. No, coffee's not any better today. But you know what it is better than? No coffee. So. Out of the Shadows, new Patreon member. Bless you. Good morning, all the Blue Wrenches, Canuck, Badger, Mad Kelt. Is Mad Kelt in here? Mad Kelt needs a wrench. Mad Kelt, type something. Ashley, good morning, Ashley. How are you? Reynaldito, good morning. Tavar's in here. What's up, Tavar? Mad Kelt, do you want a wrench? I know you're like not Mr. Technology. We'll chat about it later, but we'll just say if you want one, it's yours, bro. 15 July, the new tax day. Yes, if it's just National Guard. That's funny. Thanks. He just said thanks. It's not a yes or a no. Can we have Tactical Thursday? Maybe, bro. Maybe. 15 July 2020 overview, Bear Independent Intel report. It's also Wayne's birthday. Happy birthday, Wayne. The number of confirmed cases worldwide and in the United States continues to climb as of the time of this reporting. The official numbers are as follows. Good morning, Air Force retired. Global cases, 13,341,000. Global deaths, 577,000. Damn near 578,000. Global recoveries, 7,000,000. 788,000. Now, of those 13.3 million global cases, just shy of 5 million are active. Good morning, Mr. Brees. Yeah, this is the poolside edition. Working, listening, not watching. Roger that, Mad Celt. We'll chat later about your wrench status. U.S. cases, 3.507 million. Active cases. Now, and we're going to dig a bit into case numbers this morning because they're up to their old hijinks again. Earl's daughter, good morning, sister. 1.8 million active cases in the United States. U.S. deaths, 138,700. Good morning, Ashley Storms. You keep up the good work, you'll be a blue wrench in no time, Ashley. Keep it up. Keep it up. U.S. recoveries. And, you know, and just the way that this channel keeps growing, like, I believe we need some more blue wrenches. So, yeah. What up, Nicholas Harden? U.S. recoveries are 1,565,000. Chemtrail cough. Dustin, you remember that when everybody was going on? Good morning, Mark Chase, about the chemtrail cough. Yes, I saw that somebody dropped in the Intel Bear Independent Intel Bear Independent email address. If you have your intel, please share it with Intel at Bear Independent. Vester Dillon, good morning. No, Lloyd, we're not up to 100,000 yet, but you could definitely tell people about us. That would help us get there. Good morning, Smiling Mary. Intel at bearindependent.com is how you send us your intel. And as always, the entirety of this is on Patreon. Yesterday on Patreon, we were talking about body armor. This morning, we were talking about my tithing philosophy. So we jump around quite a bit up there on Patreon. That's where all the cool kids hang out. And somebody said, I want to join Patreon, but I don't know how. Just go to www.patreon.com. And then when there's a search bar, you type in Bear Independent, and you'll see us come up. Hotshot Homestead. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you. On my way to a job site. Won't be able to hang out long. Well, you know what? It's the thought that counts. So thank you very much. Hello from not New Jersey, Salvatore. Or are you Salvatore? Which direction did you go? Traditional, authentic, or easier to pronounce? Chris Marshall likes Pantera. Awesome. Recently, Florida broke records with sky-high case numbers, squashing some countries in the daily count. Many labs in Florida reported a 100% positivity rate, meaning every single test for coronavirus tested positive. What's up, Mad Mike? I think Mad Mike is legitimately my cousin. Like, we figured this out one day via email. Like, we're cousins. Mostly because my grandpa was very prolific in his duties, as was my great-grandpa. So, did they get caught rigging the results? We're going there just shortly. Fukyu, go Google. I'm in Sussex County, so you're probably Salvatore. Salvatore. All right. So, many labs in Florida reported a 100% positivity rate, meaning every coronavirus test was positive. Reporters investigated the errors and found that Orlando Health, while it had a 98% positivity rate, the true number was 9.4%. Orlando Veterans Medical Center showed 76% positivity rate, but the real rate was 6%. So, why is this important? Well, it A, calls into question the validity of the test itself. Is the test itself bullshizer? It certainly seems that way. I'm not saying that it is, but I'm saying that it's getting harder and harder for me to say with any confidence that the test is a good one. So that's the first thing. the quality of the testing continues to be called into question. The second issue that I see with this is that we, yet again, are being fed bad information. Whether that bad information is created organically because the test is no good, or like make it happen or let it happen, right? Whether they're making it happen or just letting it happen doesn't matter. Either the test is bad, which is front-loading bad information into the reporting, or the reporting is also bad, which is taking into account the bad testing, which is blowing it even further out of proportion. Either way, we're creating a scenario where we have vastly higher numbers of reported cases than actual cases. We saw the same thing recently. I think Monday we were talking about the number of cases is tied to the number of tests, not the number of patients. Meaning that if one patient is tested 10 times and all those tests are positive, that counts as 10 cases. It counts as 10 cases, not one patient, one case that's been confirmed 10 times. So that's a 1,000% increase in the number of cases right there. That's an issue. That's a major issue. So, lastly, the problem with these numbers, whether because of the bad testing, because of the bad reporting, or both, these are the numbers that are being used to enact the, I don't think tyrannical is too strong a word, the tyrannical will of the governing bodies that oversee our daily lives, saying that you have to wear a mask, you can't open your business, you can't go to church, you can't have a birthday party at your house. There are now people, and we'll get into this in this report, there are people all over the country that are being assaulted for not wearing masks. What the happened to the American way of life? And now that's a rhetorical question, because we could spend 14 hours on this live stream discussing just the demise of the American way of life. But number one, the government doesn't get to tell me what I can and can't do with my own body. Period. The end. Number two, you certainly don't. You or anybody else. Some rando in the gas station or on the subway, you don't get to enact your will on me. The end. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. And I mean, I don't care your color, your race, your creed, I don't care. And I will go as far to say all men and all women are created equal and endowed by their Creator, our Heavenly Father, who is sovereign over all things, with certain inalienable rights. And among these are not all of them, these are just some of them, but among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now, I hold these things to be near and dear to my heart, and I think we as a group do as well. The nation does not. And I know that, well, Bear, there's more of us than them. If we would just stand up, I agree. I agree completely. But look at the fruit that is being born by this situation. Look at what's happening, not what we're saying. Look at what they're doing, okay? Look at the fruit that this is bearing. If we really held these principles as a nation to be self-evident, if real, solid, biblical principles were really our foundation as a nation, we would have different fruit than what we have right now. And the reason I dive into all of this and use Florida as this example is because of the egregious errors in Florida that are going to be reported on, misreported on, used as weapons to kowtow and kowtow and abuse other people, to guilt, shame, force people to change their behavior for behavior modification. And none of it is even vaguely reminiscent of the country we should have based upon what our founders established. The reason I bring that up is because there's a strong movement to return to foundational principles, and I agree. But the idea that we're going to restore the republic, restore it to what? I believe, and then I'm going to shut up and get back to the report. I believe that the United States is at the end of a 250-year cycle of empires. And I believe that whatever comes next is going to look different than the United States we have right now. And I believe that the only way that I know how right now to short circuit this cycle of life and death, the death of the existing American empire and the rebirth of life of whatever comes next, is to start building whatever comes next right now. So that when the current empire of the United States fails, there is something that is honorable of our foundational principles. There is something that is honorable of our biblical principles that does reflect our convictions of faith and family and freedom and firearms. And, you know, on the 4th of July, I had alcohol, tobacco, firearms, and explosives in my truck. And I was like, look, I'm my own federal agency now, right? Something that is near and dear to us, to build those things now on the micro so that we can populate that out into the macro when the opportunity presents itself. But the idea that we're going to restore the republic, I think the republic has been dead for 100 years, 150 years. But that spirit of that republic still lives in us. And whatever comes next, we can make it that. But the counterpoint to that, the thing that will be pushing against our convictions, our foundational principles, and our biblical principles, is going to be the tyranny that's put in place because of these stupid numbers and this bad reporting. And that's why we bring up these stupid numbers and this bad reporting daily, because it's being used as a weapon to modify people's behavior. This is the revolution in action, and very few shots have been fired. Okay? But this is the revolution in action. They're going to use this bad reporting and these bad test numbers to mandate that you do certain things. I'm not doing those certain things. I think y'all know that, and I would encourage you to think about what are those things that you're not doing. And a lot of people say, well, why don't you just wear them? It's just a mask, just wear a mask. No. It's not, I don't even want to argue the validity of a mask. It's that I'm not going to put myself in situations where a mask is required. I'm just not doing it. And I'm not going to modify my behavior one bit based upon this false narrative that this global pandemic with a less than 1% death rate, that something with a 99% survivability rate is mandated that we must have a vaccine in order so that we can crash land the world economy, to wipe the slate clean of this international debt load that we've created, to reset the pieces on the chessboard so that they can start over again. That's what I see going on, and I'm not even going to play that game. Mike Morrison, bless you. I appreciate you, Mike. Thank you. So, I'm just not playing that game. And this is where the idea of sanctification comes in play. Be separate from the system. Be set apart from the system. Be independent. Bear independent of the system to the best of your ability. So when this system goes away, and it's gonna, what we know right now is gonna go away. Something will emerge to take its place. And we can and we should think about what that thing is going to be that takes the place of what we have right now. But the immediacy The rebuilding can't take place if we don't survive the collapse. And so if you're not set apart from this broken system, when it crashes, you crash. And that's why I harp on you boys and girls all the time. And I say boys and girls with love, by the way. Because many times I feel like an instructor or a teacher, right? That's why I harp on you guys. Have your food squared away. Have your water squared away. Know the people in your neighborhood. Know what you're doing for shelter and for security. Sanctified, exactly, Matthew. Be set apart. Sanctified means set apart unto the Most High. Bless you, RJ. Thank you. So, yeah, massive tangent. But that's why these numbers matter. Because these numbers are one of the building blocks in the false narrative that's going to be used to control your life. There's not a man on the face of this earth that controls my life. My life belongs to the Most High, and I'm going to do what He tells me to do to the best of my broken ability. And I do not always get it right. Sometimes I fall flat on my face. Sometimes I show my ass. I make mistakes. But Lamentations, His mercies are made new daily. Amen. So I'm not jumping in that paradigm. I'm not playing that game. I'm not doing those things, man. I'm just not doing it. And we underestimate as a people the power of sheer force of will. No, I'm not doing it. No. Bless y'all. Thank you for bearing with me as I go on these little tirades. A protest urging Mayor Lydia Crewson of St. Louis to resign turned violent. The protest came after she read aloud some names and addresses of some who want to defund the police. Conditions of the illegal camping outside City Hall were unsanitary and dangerous. A city employee was hit in the face with a gun, another was punched, and a man was stabbed and required 30 stitches. A news crew was confronted and threatened after they filmed a group breaking down barricades. Civil unrest. Straight up civil unrest. The U.S. has formally rejected much of China's maritime claims in the South China Sea. War footing, people. China has been going out of their way for the last decade, if not longer, to strengthen their hold on the South China Sea. They literally went on an island building campaign. Yeah. Pompeo said in a statement, quote, "The world will not allow Beijing to treat the South China Sea as its maritime empire. America stands with our Southeast Asian allies and partners in protecting their sovereign rights to offshore resources consistent with their rights and obligations under international law," end quote. As a note, military ships and submarines have been moved out to the Western Pacific over the past few months for military exercises and a show of confidence, so military presence is likely preemptively high. Five yards. This war footing in the South China Sea continues to build. Remember that war is, in its most basic form, a game of resources. It's the allocation of certain resources against the defense of or acquisition of certain other resources. And the mindset here is scarcity, understanding that there's scarcity coming. Economically speaking, there's going to be scarcity. So this is not just a war indicator, it's an economic indicator as well. You tend to get war during periods of economic downturn because there's limited resources and because the war machine is good for industrialized nations to be able to turn the cogs of the populace to keep people fed, to keep people busy. And it's much easier to focus the misery of the people on those bad people over there than the poor living conditions here at home. War, as a function of resources, how do I want to say this? Well, we'll just hit the high points. Food scarcity as well. We know that there's coming food scarcity. We're already starting to see it. You should be stacking it to the rafters. You should not be taking your foot off the accelerator for food storage right now. You should in no way stop buying food. Yes, I know it's far more expensive now than it historically has been, but it is historically cheaper right now than it's forecasted to be, meaning buy it now while you can. And not just the food. The ability to get Mylar and oxygen absorbers and buckets and lids to store the food also matters. So you should be storing food. And if we have war with China, obviously most of our stuff comes from China, right? So you really need to be thinking about, do I have an inventory of the things that I need? And if I can I get the things that I need now? We just, for example, bought another grain mill. Now we have a second grain mill. And I'm seriously considering purchasing a large grain mill, several $1,000 industrial sized grain mill. Like you dump 50-pound sacks of grain in the top and, you know, it just big industrial thing. It will run on an electric motor, but that we can make run on a diesel motor, and that we can hook up to a freaking mule or a bike if we need to, or a water wheel or whatever. Because my intent is to store food, and then my intent is to plant as much open space with food as possible. And grains are what keep people fed. Corn, rice, wheat, and beans. My ability to grow corn right now sucks because our soil sucks. But at least for corn it does. It's nitrogen depleted. It grows beans like nobody's business. So, point is, we are working all of that out now, because if war kicks off with China, like a hot war, supply chains, what we're experiencing right now for supply chain logistics will be nothing, just a drop in the bucket. So if this information, all of this, is a call to action. What it does is it shines light on potential issues and gives you the talking points you need to talk to the people in your group, in your family, in your church, whatever, to say, hey, I really think we should get busy on this. And it provides you with actionable intel that allows you to prepare in the appropriate way. Food, water, shelter, security, man. Like, I would start with all those things for sure. Security, Gunpocalypse 2020 is real. Ammopocalypse 2020 is real. It's a real deal. People have been asking, Bear, what should I buy? Whatever you can get at this point. If you don't have something, get something. All right, bearindependent.com. Y'all are awesome. We announced yesterday for sure, and we've been talking about all this week, the use of HSA's health savings accounts for IFACs, individual first aid kits, or medical kits in general. And y'all blew up the store yesterday buying Bearfax and Stomp bags. So HSA's health savings accounts do work. Good morning, Concrete. Do work on the Stomp bag. They work on the bare minimum. They work on the Bearfac. They work on the trauma pack insert. The HSA works on all of the medical supplies that you'll find in the store. Tourniquets, compressed gauze, combat gauze, shears, nasal pharyngeal airways, triangle bandages, all that stuff. So you can use your health savings account for any or all of those things. And I really appreciate you doing that. I really, really, really appreciate you doing that. NWA Prepper agreed, and good morning, brother. Everybody needs more medical gear. You know, I tell people all the time, they're like, Bear, what should I stock? Get a good kit. If you have web gear, deuce gear, load-bearing equipment, chest rig, plate carrier, war belt, whatever, there should be a blowout kit, an IFAK on that kit. Because if you're carrying a way to make holes, you need a way to plug holes. Then you should have a good standalone kit for, oh, I'm losing a page of my report. You should have a good standalone kit for just basic medical needs in your house, your homestead, in your car, whatever. And then from there, gauze, tape, gloves, disinfectant. Because that's the majority of what you're gonna use when you're dealing with injuries. Gauze, tapes, glove, disinfectant. Gauze, tape, gloves, disinfectant. Get it now while you can, honestly. And like tape, I like surgical tape, 1-inch surgical tape. Disinfectant is getting even harder to find right now. Isopropyl alcohol, 91% is awesome. Good luck finding it. Hydrogen peroxide. People say, well, it increases the rate of debridement needed because it kills healthy cells and this, yeah, but it also kills bad stuff too. So I'll take it over nothing. And povidone iodine, 10% solution. I like that as well. Iodine you can still get right now. Hydrogen peroxide is drying up. And 91% isopropyl alcohol, good luck. I have been unable to find it. And it used to be $2 a bottle. And I saw one guy selling 4 bottles for $70 plus $30 shipping. So it went from $2 a bottle to $100 for 4 bottles, $25 a bottle. Iodine, exactly, Jay Smith. That's what I just said. Povidone iodine solution. You can use straight iodine if you like. It's tingly if you use a tincture of iodine. So gauze, tape, gloves, disinfectant is what I would recommend you start stocking now, for sure. Colloidal silver is another great one. But to recap, bearindependent.com, you can use your HSA on all of the medical equipment in the store at Bear Independent. And I would not get like an IFAK and a patch with your HSA because the patch is not medical gear and those purchases will be scrutinized and you don't want them rejected. So get just medical gear with your HSA. You can get your patches, stickers, t-shirts, binders, prepper notebooks, thumb drives, all that other stuff on your dime. So appreciate y'all, I really do. And the fact that the stomp bag is now HSA approved is freaking cool. So make sure you're not using PayPal to check out, that you're using your HSA card, okay? 2 more eyewitness accounts. Continuity of infrastructure and supply chains. It is going to be a hot day today. I can already feel it. It's got to be 90 in the sun right now. Repeating, the coin shortage continues. Some select Walmarts have even gone cashless. Wowza. Health savings account. Legal, political, and military. According to a lawyer for 2 churches in Chicago, city officials told the churches that they would consider bulldozing the buildings if they did not comply with coronavirus mandates. Remember what we talked about. Remember what we burned 20 minutes on at the opening of this broadcast. According to a lawyer for 2 churches in Chicago, city officials told the churches that they would consider bulldozing the buildings if they did not comply with coronavirus mandates. Bullshizer. If that was my church, it wouldn't be in Chicago, but if that was my church, we would be standing elbow to elbow on the front steps of that church in full kit, and we would have overwatch positions, 3 overlapping fields of fire on that church. We'd be in radio contact, and I would be calling every single media outlet and news source in the entire world, and we would be live streaming 24/7 from the front steps of that church. And we would be not only bringing awareness, but fundraising to combat the city of Chicago. And I would find an attorney right now to countersue the city of Chicago. And I would make it clear, if you bust one brick, if you harm one hair, we will consider this an act of war. That's what I would do. I'm not good at gray area, in case you haven't noticed. West Virginia has reduced the social gathering limit from 100 to 25 people. Oregon has reduced indoor social gatherings to 10 people. Cuyahoga County, Oklahoma, has created a hotline for mask violation tattling. A $750 fine and up to 90 days in jail could result from the second-degree misdemeanor. I'm not doing it. No. And if you're in Cuyahoga County, Ohio, you should be on the phone right now. Turn this off and start making phone calls. Go down to the county seat. Go see the county clerk. And just start letting them know how you feel. A $750 fine and up to 90 days in jail could result from the second-degree misdemeanor. Absolutely not. No. Societal and general. There's growing coronavirus. It's actually allergies. Sat on a track hoe all day yesterday, open cab, digging caliche clay, and because of the nature of the work, I had to sit downwind from the digging, and I was breathing dust all day yesterday. There is growing upset over the lack of outrage in the media over the death of a young white mother ambushed and shot for allegedly saying all lives matter during an earlier confrontation. There are conflicting reports about whether she or someone else said it. She is not the only person to be attacked or lose her life in this unrest, though her murder seemed more cold-blooded than most. A lot of things come to mind with this. First of all, the fact that we have to specify that she was a young white mother pisses me off. She was a young mother. She was fearfully and wonderfully created in the image of Elohim. And her life has been cut short because of some racial bullshit. Just like everybody else's life that has been cut short because of some racial bullshit. And maybe this pisses me off more than most because I am literally colorblind. Like the most colorblind. All of it. I look at things, I don't know what color they are. I don't care what color they are. It literally does not matter to me. Y'all see a beautiful sunset and you're like, that's gorgeous. And I'm like, nice gray, bro. Doesn't matter to me. It is in no way a consideration to me because from birth, I don't see colors. At least not the way you see them. And the fact that we have the most powerful nation in the world in its death throes because of what equates to a kindergarten-styled argument over which color is best pisses me off. And I am willing to concede that at different points in this country's history, different people groups with different skin colors have certainly been abused and taken advantage of. My people are one of them. I made this point over and over again, and it's only something in the last couple of weeks I've started talking more about. I'm a quarter Native American, man. You see me screaming for reparations? No. You see me on the dole? No. Do I live on the res? No. Were my people abused? Yup. But you see, I've got a life to live. I've got things to do. I've got bigger problems than something that happened 100 years ago, 150 years ago. And I realize that because of policies that were enacted 150 years ago, certain people started at a different position on the board of this game called life that we're playing than others. But people start all over that board. There's not one starting position. People start all over the place on that board on the game of life. And it's not all predicated on skin color. And so you can focus on the past and you're never going to get anywhere. Or you can focus on the future and you might actually build something worth fighting for. See, people are fighting over the past rather than fighting to create something worth living in the future. And it's that, I guess, that fundamental difference. Yep, there you go. I could go on and on and on and on about the battles that we fight against the entities that own this platform every day. And I'm not gonna beg you to subscribe. I'm not gonna beg you to click the little bell icon. I'm not gonna beg you to come over to Patreon for $1 a month, 12 bucks a year. I spent 12 bucks, praise the Most High, on 3 slices of pizza and a 6-pack at a gas station yesterday, because that's what I had for dinner. I'm not trying to guilt or shame you into that. I'm just telling you, a day is coming where you won't see this face on this platform anymore. And it very likely won't be because of me. That's all right. Just telling you, it's gonna be a day when they knock me off of this live stream and I won't be able to get back in again. Appreciate you, Texas Rambo. Thank you. And so, man, there is a bunch left in this report, and I'm not going to get into it. We've looked at a Bear app, White Horse. Apps are expensive and they're time-consuming to build, and I have zero expertise in it. And when I say expensive, I mean it's the type of thing where you can do open source free stuff, but then it won't do the things that I want it to do. And shut up, Wes S. Yeah, Mark Chase, I'm aware. Already working on it. That's the other thing. I would strongly encourage y'all to go to bearindependent.com. And Jim, if you don't like it, then just get off. You know what, Jim? You've been kind of a shit talker lately. See ya. So I would also encourage you guys and girls, to sign up on the website, bearindependent.com, for our newsletter, because if and when something happens, we'll let you know there for sure. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna tell y'all guys again. Hey, let's all clap it up for Ashley Storms, our newest blue wrench. Congratulations, Ashley. You are now a blue wrench. Good morning, Tommy Salter. Question everything, bless you. Kevin F, bless you. Prayers for daughter Eva. Got it. If my thumbs would work. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna tell you guys to buy your dang armor from adventurefrontier.com because he's a brother and a friend and he's got a heart made of gold. And you can use promo code BearNation for 10 bucks off your armor, which is a phenomenal deal. You guys know that. Literally, armor, IFACs, and now fluffy bunnies. So go to adventurefrontier.com. Please and thank you. Check out Veterans for Child Rescue, vets, the number 4, childrescue.org, and the Contraland movie. Please make sure to check out our friends at Disaster Coffee, Sanctified Supply Co., and Amendment 1 Preparedness. And we're going to talk to the Father. Yes, there are now fluffy bunnies at adventurefrontier.com. Let's do this thing. Good morning, Father Yah. Let's just start right off rebuking everything that comes against us in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Father, if there's anything within the sound of my voice, whether it be here in person or out there on the interwebs, Father, anything within the sound of my voice that is not of you, I rebuke it in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach and command it to destroy itself. I'm over it. Father, I pray a hedge of protection around everybody within the sound of my voice, and I pray that you would imbue us with your power and your authority and your Ruach HaKodesh, your Holy Spirit, that you would be physically indwelt in us for strength and truth and love and compassion and power and authority and wisdom and discernment, Father, that we would be your hands and feet today, that we would hold this ground until Yeshua returns again. Father, our brother and his daughter Eva, she needs prayer. You know the specifics of this, but we lift her up to you. We all come in agreement and ask that whatever your will is, that it would be done, that you would address little Eva as your own, Father, and that you would, whatever needs to happen there, Father, that you would do it. Whatever your will is, let it be done with Eva. Father, thank you for this. Father, thank you for convictions. Thank you for teaching our hands to war and for preparing us for whatever it is that is coming, Father. Thank you for righteous anger. Thank you for putting a fire in our bellies, for giving us a life and showing us how to live it. Father, I pray that you would use every one of us today the way you see fit, that you would put us where we need to be today, so that we can be your hands and feet, so that we can testify, so that we can build our own testimony, so that we can evangelize, so that we can do your work. That even in our brokenness, people would see you when they see us. Father, thank you for redemption and restoration through Yeshua Messiah. Thank you for making hard men and hard women for hard times to come. And thank you for walking with us every day so that we're not in this alone. Father, I pray that we would remember the abundance of your provision and blessing in this time of increasing scarcity, and that we would look to you for guidance and strength and not to the world. And I pray that you would pour out your blessings on everybody within the sound of my voice. And I ask all these things in the mighty name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Amen. .5 yards. I got a lot of love for you, Bear Nation. I am proud of this thing that we're doing. And I'm proud in the way that Paul was proud of the works that he did on behalf of the kingdom. And I'm in no way elevating myself to Shaul of Tarsus status. But I'm not proud in a worldly way. I'm proud that the Father is clearly working here. Must be an onion on this patio somewhere. The Father is clearly working here. And I literally pray that he works in your life today. And he is sovereign over all things. And he is so badass. And if we just remember that and walk in that, the trials and tribulations of this life it will seem like nothing. Oh, Puka. Bless you, sister. Tavar, I'm telling you, I need a better security staff. There's onion ninjas all the time. Amen, Bones. You're thinking about who's your one this week. Who are you getting? Who are you bringing into the camp? Good morning, Shield Maiden. Who are you bringing into the camp? I'm gonna go sit a track hoe and hopefully have some air conditioning at my own house today. Y'all have an awesome day. Shalom.